How much protein should you eat per day to maximize muscle gains? Well, the most comprehensive meta-analysis we have to reference was done by Robert Mortan and a bunch of other absolute Jedis in the sports science world. We have Brad Schoenfeld, Menno Henselmans, Eric Helms, the list goes on. The kind of sports science Jedis you want involved in your meta-analysis. So you know that this review is going to kick ass. According to this meta-analysis, the average amount of protein required to maximize lean mass is approximately 1.6 grams per kg of body weight per day, which isn't that much. My son probably gets more protein than that, and he's 4. Nah, that's a lie. Unless chips have more protein in them than I believe they do. Chips being a quintessential staple in any 4-year-old's diet. But I think this 1.6 grams of protein per kg of body weight I think it's a great goal. It's sensible, it's realistic, and evidently it's optimal. In fact, it showed that protein intakes at amounts greater than the 1.6 grams per kg of body weight per day do not further contribute to resistance training induced gains in fat-free mass. This means that many people will see zero muscle building benefit beyond 1.6 grams per kg of body weight per day. But if you're already exceeding the 1.6 grams, and due to multiple benefits of high protein diets, you might well be, don't feel the need to drop the chicken breast just yet. In this review, only 4 out of the 49 included studies were on people with resistance training experience. And of the few studies that used resistance training, none of the participants were in a caloric deficit. Even with this review showing no benefit beyond the 1.6 grams, it did also state that it may be prudent to recommend approximately 2.2 grams per kg of body weight per day for those seeking to maximize resistance training induced gains in fat-free mass. And I agree. Many people will benefit from consuming a much higher protein intake. The more you're exercising and want to hold on to muscle tissue or further develop it when in a caloric deficit, the more protein you will need. A review done by Hector and Phillips on protein recommendations for elite athletes recommended between 1.6 to 2.4 grams per kg of body weight per day, and stated that the severity of the caloric deficit and type and intensity of training performed by the athlete will influence at what end of this range athletes choose to be. For most people, the 1.6 grams per kg of body weight is enough. It's enough to optimize muscle protein synthesis. But if you want to err on the side of caution, then play it safe and aim for more. Like all things, we need to base our recommendations on the individual and consider multiple factors beyond just body weight. Most of you who work with me, I love you guys, eat around 1.8 grams of protein per kg of your body weight. This is because many of you are in a caloric deficit, are lifting weights regularly, and possibly even have a step target. Essentially, you're super active. And due to these factors, your protein needs increase. On the other hand, I do have clients consuming under 1.6 grams of protein per kg of their body weight, as 1.6 grams would be unrealistic given the calories required to induce weight loss in that individual. Striving for more protein can potentially take someone from a caloric deficit to a caloric surplus. We also need to consider body fat percentage. If someone is over 100 kilos and is built like the 38th governor of California, then they need more protein compared to someone who is the same weight with less muscle mass. To summarize, 1.6 grams per kg of body weight is a great amount for most people. But if you're super active, pumping iron, and in a caloric deficit, you may well benefit from consuming more. If someone comes to me looking to maximize the hell out of their muscle building potential or has aspirations to jump on stage covered in baby oil and a copious amount of fake tan, then I'm likely to recommend an amount above the 1.6 grams per kg of body weight, as we want to do everything possible to squeeze out all potential gains. In fact, I have a handful of clients who are hitting slightly above the 2.4 grams, and that's fine. There's nothing to lose and possibly extra to gain. If you're not a fan of eating the leanest sources of protein with each meal, or chugging down protein shakes like an alcoholic with a bottle of Jack, don't worry, as you can take solace in the fact that you may well be maximizing your potential by just consuming 1.6 grams per kg of your body weight, and that is a sensible, realistic, sustainable amount of protein for the majority of people.